Hey everybody, welcome to a Tales of Crestoria video, and you may have noticed that I did a few videos on this back when it was in beta, but then I got busy for a while and I took a break. But when the game officially launched, I started playing again, and I've been kind of just maintaining an account, but now I'm on vacation. So the plan is I'm going to play this game a lot more than I was in the past, which I'm very excited about. I'll be able to finish out the amazing story that's been released so far. So the plan for today's video is to kind of take you through my account, what I've accomplished so far, and talk about the game a little bit if you haven't seen it yet, and we'll go from there. Alright, let's take a look at the game, and already you can see that it looks great in 3D with all these awesome Tales characters here, including our one of our new characters from this game, Vicious, and this environment's constantly going to be changing, the camera angles, etc. If you click on someone, they'll actually talk. So the one thing is that it's all going to be Japanese voice acting, which I think is reasonable considering the costs that all the characters are talking. But what's really cool is that I can actually go to home settings and I can change which characters are there, I can change what background they're going to be in, and just have my own kind of custom setup that's going to be different from other people's, and I can also do a 2D version that's just going to be like a slideshow of character portraits, and I think something like that's a really nice touch. It's very cool to have that in the game. Now in this game you're going to be able to pull all sorts of characters that are original in this game, and also characters from all over the Tales series, which is very cool. But you'll also encounter Tales characters in this story, and they're not just dropped in here out of nowhere. They're part of the world. They are interacting with people, and it's really cool. Honestly, the best part about this game so far has been the story. It is just AAA quality. It feels like I'm playing an actual Tales game, Tales story. Now that being said, the combat's a little bit different, and it's obviously a gacha game, so it is very grindy, but overall I've been really impressed with this game. I do want to have a quick disclaimer that there are a ton of bugs so far, like a dumb amount of bugs, considering that we had this open beta and that there was all these issues there. They then delayed the game for a super long time. They went quiet and everyone was wondering when it was going to come out, and they finally released it, and then there's still all these bugs. There's bugs with the raids, there's bugs with the power-up quests where you can't get in unless you change your time zone. There's chat bugs, there's all sorts of things that are going on, and I'm still endorsing the game despite that, because they will be fixed. They are working on it, but some people online will call this game Tales of Maintenance because it goes down into maintenance so far. Now there are some workarounds too. For example, the power-up quest bug. If you get that, if you have an item in your inventory and you click on it, you can go find the missions where you can farm it, and that is an alternate way to get into the locked power-up quests depending on your time zone. So that's fine, but at some point the dev team really needs to step up with these bugs, because it's the worst I've experienced personally, although I haven't played that many gacha games. One of the coolest things about this game is that as soon as you start, you're able to pick one unit of your choosing from the highest rarity, and there's a pretty huge pool of units that they'd let you pick from. And I think this is such a nice touch, because someone like me that's not going to reroll that much, or at all in this case, I can just pick my favorite character and I can get right into it. And if you want to reroll to see if you can pull extra SSRs on top of that, you can, but you're always going to guarantee the character that you want. And I think that's honestly something that a lot of gachas should just do, because they know we're rerolling anyway, although I'm sure they love the downloads going up when we are rerolling. So I'll give you a look at some of those units that you can pull. Right now we've had some summer banners, so those are up as well, but this starter summon, you can see that
the first part of it has all the new characters here, and I don't think they're part of the initial pool. I didn't look at this one when the game released. I did this back in beta. I looked through all the characters, so they've actually added extra characters than there were in beta. I already knew I was going to grab Saray, so I just went ahead and did that. But there were, for example, Lloyd was not in the starter bundle when in the beta, but he is now. And there's just so many cool SSRs that you can pick from. I think almost everyone's in the pool except for the new Tales characters here. So the one thing that you should know in this game is that in order to kind of ascend your unit to the next level, you need to be able to pull dupes, and that is kind of hard to do. So there's been some criticism of that, but we'll take a look at my party, and I'll kind of explain how it all works. So when you're pulling for these Memoria stones on the bottom. If you get a Memoria stone that comes with an actual playable character, you will also get the playable character, and then anytime you pull that stone from then on, you will just get the stone. So for example, when I pulled Yuri, I got Yuri's stone, and I also got Yuri the playable character, and then now I want to try to pull extra Yuri stones, because if I'm able to pull those, then I will be able to upgrade them to a certain point. So here you can train your units level, you can actually train all of their skills as well. You can ascend them so that their max level goes up, and you can farm all of these materials through the different modes, and then you can awaken. So that's, sorry, I said ascend before, but you can awaken a character, and to do that you need a dupe. Now you can actually do this 5 times, so in order to go max awakening you need 5 dupes, and when you do that it's going to give you this additional effect. So plus 10% defense to all allies, plus 10% attack to all earth allies at 20 hits in the combo. So that's a really big deal. That's also going to upgrade your Mystic Art, which is another great side effect of that. So the issue that people have is that it's so hard to summon a Yuri 5 times that for limited characters you really have a hard chance of actually awakening them fully. Now there isn't any content out right now that requires a fully awakened character, so we don't know how necessary it is. We also don't know if we're going to get an easier source of these awakening stones. Like maybe there's a multi-purpose awakening stone that can be used for anybody. In that case, that would open up limited characters a lot more. So what I've been doing is I'm just honestly saving all of my gleam stones, the summoning currency here, and I'm just waiting for a banner that I think is cool. Luckily I've gotten some nice SSRs from the limited pulls that I have done, so I'm kind of just moving along with what I can with this party, and eventually I'll do a bunch of summonings and I'll be able to upgrade my my party quite a bit. Now for your party, you're going to be able to put 4 people into it, and this 4th slot you will actually replace, if you want, with a friend or another player's unit. You also have sub-units that are going to jump in as soon as one of these units falls. The sub-member will come and take their place in battle, so you have to actually have all 6 units die before you lose. Each of these units is also going to be equipped with a Memoria stone. It doesn't have to be theirs, it can be any of them. So these are kind of like your equipment right here, and then you're going to have your substones, and your substones work for your entire party, and you get bonuses based on how you fill out the grid. So for example, if you have the more of one element you have, the bigger bonus you get. So if I have 9 dark element substones, I would get a bonus for that. And if I have the more of a certain weapon type I have, I'll also get a bonus for that. So what you want to do is try to max out a weapon type or an element, or both if possible. For example, if you could have all wind swords for this entire subgrid, you would get a huge bonus for your stats. You also want to think about all the different stones that you have on your units, because they're going to increase your HP, your attack, and your defense, but they're also going to have special abilities as well that activate at each battle. Now when I'm not borrowing somebody, or even when I am, you have to think about your positioning of your party as well, because the way that your party's positioned is going to affect how you auto battle, and in this game there is an attack count system, which I'll show you later, that is very important. So there's a lot of depth that comes into formation building that I really like. It's also going to be beneficial to a certain extent to have parties that are entirely one element. So even though I have got a bunch of SSRs, if I had a full party of dark units, then I would be able to get more bonuses that way than I would for having this mixed party. So I think you're going to need a combination of both. If you start to build up your mono element parties, then let's say that there is a light boss, well, your dark party is going to be perfect for that, but it might not be perfect in other content. So it will be kind of a game where you want to pull lots of units and develop lots of units and have different formations for different occasions and different loadouts on all of your substones, etc., which is very cool. Now, speaking of those stones, you can also build these up. So you can ascend them, which will take a dupe, and that can happen up to 6 times, which again is crazy because this is the same stone that you have to pull for the character to awaken them. So I believe that's 11 pulls in order to max both, which is really crazy. But you can also just refine them with their level, and you can attach different things to them to just put their stats up permanently as well, which is very nice. So there's a lot of different reasons to farm here for your units, for your Memoria stones, for all that kind of fun stuff. So otherwise in this game, there's a bunch of different systems right at release. We've got our guild function. So I actually have a guild. I'll put the information in the description if you'd like to join us. But you can see here, everyone's hanging out at our guild camp. Every single day I come here and I max my contribution. And I can actually buy perks for the guild to give them different things. We can do guild point summons, and we have people that will also donate items every day. So what I do is I donate a bunch. I won't do that much. You donate a bunch of items to the guild to get points up as well and rank up, and it's kind of cool. And because of the chat bugs, and also because of the chat just gets completely filled up with raid requests, it's important to have Discord so that you can communicate with your guild, because it's not going to happen in the game that much. So there's also going to be raids, there's an arena mode, we've also got our story mode, which has regular, hard, very hard, there's limited quests, there's side story quests, power-up quests, your gold quests, and a tower mode. So the game has a bunch of content. It's really impressive how much content this game has, certainly more than you would expect a game that just came out. Which is honestly really cool, and it's hard for me to play through it all right now because I've been so busy. But I'm very excited to be able to get into it all and to play. Okay, so if you want to know more about the types of content in this game, I actually did a video about that during the beta, which you can check out on my channel. But otherwise, before we go, I wanted to show one battle, and I'm going to use this party I have here that does not use a friend support unit, and I've ordered my party in a very specific way. So I have my healer and support unit first, then I have Yuri, who has a bunch of high hit combos, so he can hit like 10 times in a row, and that's going to raise the hit count. Saray is also able to do a little bit of that and a little bit of damage, and then Leon here is my number one attacker, so he's gonna finish off chains, and I'll show you what that looks like once we get into the battle. I'm really hoping there's no crashes here. So all the Memoria stone effects apply, and you see that I can switch order however I like in order to put certain units first. So with Mysidia I could attack, there's a couple of hits, then with Yuri I could use this ability. And abilities have cooldowns, so that's going to be gone now for 5 turns. My hit count is up to 12. Soraya can use my Sword Rain Alpha, and we're at 21 hits, and the damage bonus went up to 20%. So I picked a little too weak of a stage to demonstrate this on, but the idea is you get this hit count up again. So you see 10% damage up, and then your strongest unit is going to be the one that can take advantage of that damage percent up. So I'm just going to attack, but you get the idea. So the way that you order your party is super important because that's the way that the auto battle is going to play. So you need to set it up in the way that you want to chain. And that gets thrown off a little bit when you grab a support unit from a different player, because whatever unit you grab might be out of order. I don't know if there's a way to change that or not. But it's a really cool system because you have healing support units, you have damage dealers, you have people to raise the hit count. There's then you mix in your elements and all your other things, your stones. There's quite a bit going on in this game, and I think that's pretty amazing. So clearly no crashes on so far, and that's really good. So what I did to do that was I changed a few settings. In the combat, you change the camera angle to be above the combat. On BlueStacks, I changed to 1 cell in the BlueStack settings, and then there's otherwise you can turn the graphic settings down. I haven't done that, but I've heard that helps as well. So we're gonna leave it at that because I'm just gonna get to playing, but I hope you guys check out this game if you haven't already, and if you are playing this game and you have any advice for me because you're seeing my account now, then by all means get in the comments and let me know. I'm definitely trying to learn a lot about this game, but I am by no means an authority on it yet, but I hope that I can get to a point where I'm going to be able to make guides and help people out, but we'll go one step at a time. And because I have all these gleamstones up here, at some point we will do a pull video as well, so look forward to that. Alright, that's about it. We'll see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can show your support with a like and subscribe, and by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/MysidiaGaming. Until next time, keep it real, Mysidians.